Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best.
Congratulations for this 30th anniversary of Myst. Time
Yeah.
Myst Saga, beyond the fact that it's a adventure game, click and point, avventura punta e clicca, is for me an experience that is really close to the cinema, to the movie experience, for the stories, the backstories, the plot, the narrative sequences. Do you agree with me about the fact that now the modern video games don't take any more inspiration by the movies, but they have gone away, they surpassed the movies, and maybe the movies take something from the video games. Do you agree with that?
Oh, that's good. I agree some with that. It feels like maybe it's both. Because I know, even for myself, I can watch a good movie and be inspired to do something more in a video game. But I absolutely agree that video games now have been more serious about the narratives that they put in and have added some very innovative storytelling mechanisms that I think then new filmmakers watch and go, oh, I should put that in a film. So I think it feeds each other in a very constructive way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday, in your conference, you said you were surprised of seeing many fans of Myst here, but you are a maker of bestseller. So what I want to ask you is, what do you think about the echo that Myst Saga has had in Europe and maybe in a country like this one?
Yeah. It surprises me. I mean, like you said, it surprises me, and yet I understand that people are attracted to things that feel authentic, entertainment or other worlds that feel like they are real. And I think maybe it's a universal appeal, no matter what your culture is, to be intrigued by what's on the other side. What if there was a new world I could go to? And somehow we love exploring, and I think I'm surprised by it, but yet humans are the same everywhere.
Yesterday, during your conference, you also said that some of your points of inspirations were Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Dune, cinema, literature, and video games of the last decades are lacking of fantasy, or do they have something interesting? Is there some opera that amazes you during this year about ambition, creativity?
Oh, wow, that's a hard question. The things that have been intriguing to me in the last few years, there's actually been some Neil Stephenson books that I've read that have that kind of blow my mind, because he starts very small, and at the end of the book, it's huge. He goes into amazing future-looking things, and for some reason, I love that idea of starting small, where I'm drawn in and it feels very personal. But as I explore more, even in the video game, as I explore more, I realize that there's so much more to this, and what I thought was small is a much bigger thing, and I realize the world is much larger.
Okay. Myst video games are fantastic, but they are also difficult. Do you think are there many players that have finished them without using the solutions? Are you getting angry with us if we use the solutions?
No, not at all. Back when we did Myst, there was no internet. So you had to buy a hint book if you wanted to play Myst. And I think we looked at Myst as that was okay to take your time. It's okay to get stuck. I think I still look this way. Like, don't get hints quickly. It's okay to get hints if you're stuck for a long time, but just wait, think about it. Go to work, go to school, go to sleep. Wait for a little bit and see if the answer comes to you.
Is there a puzzle or an enigma that makes you proud of any invention? Is there any?
Oh, yeah. Well, puzzles are very personal. You know, people like different kinds of puzzles. I had one controversial puzzle from Myst, and that's the maze runner. Many people hate the maze runner. It's just a maze. I'm figuring out a maze, but the maze runner, if you listen, if you realize that it follows everything in that world, it teaches you how to get through, and I love that part. And then there's a puzzle in Abduction, one of our more recent games, Abduction, where the mechanism is you're in a sphere, and a chunk of one world, a sphere of one world, goes to another world. It's such a good puzzle because the first time you use it, you go in the sphere to another place, but you don't think about what was in that world went back in this. You don't think about swapping until later in the game. And when I watch people play and they realize that it's swapped, and I watch their eyes open and they go, oh, I love that feeling.
Just the last question. Yes. And I always enjoy very much the music Myst sounds. How was doing it? And if you can tell us something about Tim Larkin. I really love Tim Larkin. Music also gallery there is one of the most amazing music.
I agree. I totally agree. First of all, we weren't going to put music in this. We started thinking no music because in the real world, there's no music playing. But we realized after we put music in, it affects your emotions. You feel more of the place. And so since then, we always put music in. But here's interesting side note on Tim Larkin. I love Tim Larkin's music. In Uru, his music was so good. Tim Larkin's from Lucca. His family is from Lucca. His mother's family is from Lucca. Yes. Or his great grandmother lived in Lucca.
Why isn't he here?
He should be. Next time I'm bringing Tim Larkin. Yes.
Yes. Is there something of rank in Atrus? Which are the biggest differences from rank to Atrus? What have you in common and what you have?
Oh, that's a good question. It's a difficult question because I'm not a good actor. You know, I mean, it's hard for me to play Atrus, but I think the things I see that I have similar with Atrus are I love to problem solve. I love to think about how things fit together, and I'm intrigued with the idea of if you could write worlds, I would want to make them so precise, make them work well, and then be excited when I could go into that new world. I think what's different about Atrus and I is I hope that my children are better than his children.
Oh, Abduction, Firmament are loved by Myst fans. What do the new generations of video game players think about this kind of games?
It's a new generation may not like those games, but I think in this new world of video games, there's room for many different types of entertainment. And I think that even new players who are used to fast games, going very fast and don't have patience for puzzles, sometimes the pendulum will swing. And maybe someday they'll say, I'm tired of it being so fast. I need to take a breath. And they'll come and play our games and say, oh, these are kind of interesting. But also, I'm getting older, and our company has younger people in it who have grown up with our company. And they have new ideas of how to make worlds in a different way that may be more appealing to gamers these days as well. So it works both ways.
Last question. It's very about the ending concept. End of ages. Is it really the end of the saga? Have you ever thought about making another chapter?
You know the answer to that question.
Oh, God. I want to hear it.
Perhaps the ending has not yet.
Oh.